I think I could make that.
I think it's low enough. I think if I go underneath it like Fast and the Furious, we just kind of like just casually go underneath it.
Like that Mustang and Too Fast and Furious.
Wait, we have to pretend like we haven't seen it yet. Ooh. Man, those are cool. You're gonna be stopping on a dime on a skull.
I like that shit, bro.
Nobody does this shit.
Right.
What color were the calipers before? Red?
Yeah. So you work on McLarens every day. Have you ever seen somebody do some shit like this?
I have not. This is the first for me.
Don't mind me. I gotta look at something. Yeah, I think these are gonna go good on my truck, Justin. They're gonna go really good on my 95.
Man, I don't think them are big enough for your truck. Damn small.
I made a joke to Laura. I was like, hey, next time you see Justin, be like, hey, my BMW's turbos are bigger than your McLaren's turbos. And she's like, only if it's factual. Because otherwise he'll put me in the fucking ground. But yeah, I think this is probably... You should be. She's walking now.
Kind of pretzel thing later. She's been dying to whip somebody's ass.
Hella. Oh, man. You know, this thing is...
Don't they look... I mean, they're like so puny.
I was making jokes earlier, but it's funny that like this one turbo probably is worth more than my truck.
So, I don't know what the turbos cost themselves. I know the upgrade from Pure is like $8,000 or $9,000. And I want to say the core fee was $9,000.
Oh.
So I would assume they're probably around...
Is that your phone?
Assume they're probably like $18,000 a piece.
Well, they really feel good from back here. It's funny, man. Justin's been talking all this mess. He's like, man, you're in so over your head on these builds. I can't believe you tear apart your car that much. And then immediately after that, he's like, I think I'm just going to pull my McLaren apart.
Yeah, but I'm not in over my head and didn't go too far.
This is pretty far.
Yeah, we haven't cut the frame, okay?
Not yet. How else are we going to fit an LS in there? Wait, you gonna make more power than with this? Look how small the headers are. I can't even put my wiener in there. That won't even fit.
I honestly believe Derek could probably LS swap it. It would just
be shit. It'd be so
shit and lose power and be a downgrade.
We could make it make more power, but you lose all the good stuff like the computers and
drivability.
Yeah,
like
and the sound. Derek, how much is one of these transaxles?
No, never priced one out before, so I'd be lying to you if I told you exactly.
Before you try to figure out how much
Can we have you guess?
an axle would be, it's an intake. You've replaced an intake gasket before, right? Go to Summit, go to Advanced. It's like
You can't pick this up at Summit? I don't know. McLaren parts. Neat. I don't know what that does. Imagine having to change that fucking alternator. Wait. What? I don't understand. What's going on here? Why does it have like a belt? I think I'm gonna be the first person ever to lick the inside of a McLaren engine. Tastes like McLaren. Tastes British. It tastes like tea. Oi! Oi, governor! I don't really know. Oh, that's what those are. I believe this is probably a water pump. All right, I'm just identifying engine parts on this mystery machine here. It appears to be an engine. I might go in for another lick. Oh yeah, my tires finally showed up. I only waited for them all day and they showed up at 7. So I'll go get those tires put on in the morning. I'd be the first person ever to rub their ball sack on the back of a transaxle of a McLaren 720, you know. I just really whipped the old beanbag out. Look familiar, Yammy Noob? I know it's not yellow. I did a Yammy Noob joke. Remember he got hit by the Porsche? Yeah, went really high in the air. We're cool now. Him and I are good now, so this isn't personal. He'll understand the joke. And he'll probably call me a midget because I am. But you know what? I don't know if you guys know that, but yeah, Yammy and I patched shit up a long time ago. And he's been doing like some really cool shit. Don't know why I thought about that, but... Oh yeah, the Porsche, that's what it was. Man, look at this. Spring steel is one of the best steels you can do for like making knives. It's really good. And I assume that this is gonna be really high quality, high carbon steel. I'm gonna steal some of these, unless you guys need them. But I'm gonna make some cool knives out of them, probably. That's gonna be a fucking cool knife made out of a McLaren spring. Yeah, we're bringing it all back this year. Knife making, motorcycles, truck content, you name it. We're gonna call 2021 back to my roots. That's what, back to my roots, baby. I moved away from my hometown and now I'm moving back. And before we continue with today's video, I do have a sponsor for you guys. You guys know them, you love them. Today's video is sponsored by Cove, and they have something new that was new 3 months ago when they asked me to do this ad, and then I forgot about it. So thank you very much, Cove, for still participating with me, even though it took me 4 months to do your ad. That being said, they made these dope noise canceling headphones. Very particular about my audio, and I'm always very suspicious when companies come to me with good audio because I spend a lot of money on my computer setup. Now that being said, putting these headphones on and wearing them for the first time was honestly the most awkward experience I've ever had because I wasn't expecting them to noise cancel the way they did. The best way I can describe it is that they work so well that sometimes you have a hard time hearing yourself talk because the only thing you can feel is the vibrations in your chest, and the longer I would talk with these headphones on, the more nasally and awkward my voice got. It was like my ears weren't in sync with my brain and mouth. It was very strange. So as far as the noise canceling aspect of them, they work incredible. They're very soft. The ears, the head padding, they're very soft. They're very light. They feel very comfortable on my head. I almost feel like I would be uncomfortable walking around with the active noise canceling on. I could be in the middle of an Avengers level threat and not even notice it. So yeah, they work really good. The audio quality is great. The bass is loud without being muddy. And it is Bluetooth 5.0 with advanced audio codec, so it gives really good sound with it being wireless. Up to 32 hours of battery life when you're listening to music and making calls, but it's got up to 750 hours of standby time. So just leave them on. And of course it has a microphone so you can do wireless hand-free calls. Hello? Hello? And the wireless range works over 30 feet away. Go to coveaudio.com/DKSOUNDS, that's me. Use the code DKSOUNDS, and you'll get almost 70% off of your headphones. And a free travel bag. All right, now we gotta get back to the video, but thank you Cove Audio for sponsoring today's video. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one. You know, Arby says they have the meats. Well, they clearly haven't met me, because this is the meat. It's tire day. I love tire day. I love putting wheels and tires on my stuff. I enjoy putting tires on my vehicles almost as much as I enjoy putting wheels on them, man. You know, when I was a kid, all I did was pull the wheels and tires off of like literally every toy car I ever had. It was the first thing I did, legitimately. I know my parents are talking about this right now because they watch my videos. They're saying, look at this kid. They're saying, look at him. He's doing the same shit he was when he was 10 years old, playing with tires. Taking tires off, putting tires on. That's what Danny does. I'll be honest, that's true. It's 100% true. So now I'm on my way to go put like a race tire on my damn work truck. And I knew I was gonna keep this thing stocked, so, you know, keep it stocked, whatever. All right, I got the new tires mounted and balanced, and I'll be honest with you guys, that took way too long. I was there for almost 4 hours. Everyone there was very nice. I went to like 3 or 4 different tire stores, seeing if they could put some tires on in a reasonable amount of time. And like that's how it used to be, even until like mid last year. At any tire shop I could go to, hey man, I need tires put on my truck. They're like, cool, give us like 20, 30 minutes and we'll get them on. I guess that's just not the way the fucking world works anymore. They want me to have like an appointment 2 days in advance nowadays for me to like run in, and even then it doesn't matter because the people who set appointments, they don't get their fucking stuff done. You know, it's either you set an appointment and you wait 3 hours, or you do a walk-in and then you wait 3 hours. And that's at any tire shop. I'm not calling out anybody in particular. There was people who didn't want to do the tires. There's people who didn't want to mount the tires because they're like afraid to mount the tires. Like, you work at a tire shop. What do you mean you're afraid to mount the tires? You guys don't know this, but it's absolutely ridiculous to me that I'm having water bottles and bottles that can roll sitting on the passenger seat of this truck. I say that because before I did the suspension work on the truck, any sort of like braking or like mild turning would knock everything. Yeah, I was slowing down. Nothing. Isn't that awesome? Probably not impressive to anybody else that's driving the vehicle, but you know what I mean? Hey, my bottles don't roll. All right, man, so we got the new meats on the truck. They look fantastic. These, I think this is a 9-inch wheel, and these are actually, I was hoping would be a little bit more narrow. They're kind of bulgy, you know? It gives it kind of a good meaty look. These are 265s on a 20x9. Nitto 555 G2s. Does that sound right? That sounds right. Not sponsored, I will say that. I bought these tires based off of a recommendation from my buddy Derek, so thank you. Something I didn't notice yesterday though, when I got them in, was these are actually the 555 G2 XLs, and they do appear to be like more meaty than the just a regular. Even though they have the same sidewall height, they both have 35mm sidewall heights, right? All right, let's break down tires for a second for people who don't know. Right here, 285, the first number on this tire, this means how wide the tire is, and this is in millimeters. So 285 millimeters, I think is like 11 1/4 in inches. So the width of the tire is 285 millimeters or 11 1/4. The second number is your sidewall height, so how tall the tire is. So this one's 35, so 35 millimeters. Should be like 1.5 inches, somewhere around there, but I think because of the XLs, it's closer to 2 inches. I think that's what the XL means. The fronts are definitely closer to 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. And then the next number is the size of your wheel. So this is ZR20, it's a 20-inch wheel. And then the last combination of numbers and letters, your load index and your speed rating. Hello?
You are without insurance coverage. Now is the time to get that changed.
And the W on mine, I believe that's 165 miles an hour, 168. It's rated for somewhere around there. I think it's like 270 kilometers an hour. I'm really bad at conversions. So yeah, the more you know. But anyway, to go over all that information, I bring to tell you that I'm gonna pull the wheels off, even though we just got done pulling the wheels off and all that shit. They look really fucking good on this truck. They look so good. And I have one more thing to do to the wheels. I wanted to get the tires mounted and balanced first before I did this, so I knew they wouldn't be touched for a little while. You guys are gonna talk so much shit on me for doing this, but I'm gonna plastic dip my wheels. I don't care what anybody says. People are gonna think that I'm above plastic dipping my wheels. It's how I started. It's literally what I started doing my thing. And it's something I wanna do because I don't know if it's something I'm gonna like. So it's kind of like a good way for me to put something on and test it out, see if I'm gonna like something before I commit to something. I will actually use genuine plasti dip. I don't care what brand you use, mostly because they don't pay me to say anything. It's just what I'm familiar with and I've picked up before. And people are gonna be like, Dan, you're gonna fucking ricer? You're gonna plastic dip your wheels? Yeah, so what? Now what? You're gonna make fun of me? You're gonna be rude in the comments? Personally, if you want my honest opinion, I don't think there's anything wrong with plastic dipping your wheels. I don't know about your whole car. I've done that route, and I gotta say that I think vinyl wrap is a way better solution. Shout out to my boy Justin, Atlanta Custom Wrap. I gotta say, I honestly believe, no matter how you spin it, that doing a vinyl wrap versus a liquid wrap, 1,000,000 times better. I probably won't rubber dip a car, like an entire car on purpose, ever again. And I know part of it was because I didn't do a great job, and I know a lot of my bad experience was because of myself, my poor back in the day putting effort into stuff or doing stuff correctly. I get that. When like literally my best friend wraps cars for a living, like I'll never promote doing something like that. Probably not even in the future. I've turned down several sponsorship opportunities for liquid wraps specifically because of that, and obviously any other competitor wrapping company. I guess people don't know that, and I don't know why I'm telling you guys that, but hey, I've been honest with you guys. But I'm not gonna dip the whole wheel. I don't want you guys to think that. I'm only gonna dip the spoke inlay. So this little line that goes all the way on the inside of the wheel, I'm only gonna do that. And I'm also gonna leave the center caps as well, chrome. I have a feeling this will look really good. In my head, it looks really good, but sometimes those lines don't translate very well, you know? On a side note, I wanna compliment somebody who's been working fucking hard here, and that's my buddy Ham. I'm trying really hard to kind of get back to my roots, you know, this year and take things like old school. That's why I'm doing Magna stuff and doing cheaper build stuff, and it's like trying to get back to like trying to get back to like the me shit. So I've kind of taken like doing a lot of recording and editing back to myself just to like fucking bring me back. And Ham's been working really hard in the shop getting this place looking absolutely amazing. A lot of you guys have been talking shit about the condition of the shop because I let things get bad, and we're getting ready, like I said, to knock this box out and move some project stuff around, get a little bit more organized in here. But I mean, you know, I know I spent like literally $3,000 in lighting, which is still absurd to me. I guess when you do YouTube, you need good lighting. I think I really vibe this lighting. You know? Like something about the lighting and the working in shadows, it kind of feels after hours, and it is after hours. It's actually really late here. So I guess we'll consider this Do With Dan after hours. Oh shit. Damn, it like straight up took off all the rust. What's up? So now that I get your attention and Do It With Dan after hours, I think I'm gonna pull the wheels off the truck. I like this lighting though, dude. Man, what the fuck is up with this truck? Why do I like it so fucking much? Why? I don't fucking get it. Why am I so fucking obsessed with this stupid truck? Dude, I swear to God, I sit up at night, like looking at photos of it on my phone, like in bed. I don't know what's wrong with me. Why is it so fucking hot? Like I deadass don't have to take the wheels off, but I'm gonna. Just cause it'd be easier to clean and tape off properly. I'm not gonna do that thing that I normally do, where I do the music while I work. It's like an entourage of me doing stuff with music in the background or whatever. You know what's been on my mind a lot lately? This is gonna sound absolutely ridiculous, but dude, I can't stop fucking thinking about aliens. And I don't mean that in like the tinfoil hat, there's aliens all around us kind of way. I just kind of mean it in like, dude, when are they gonna show up? Like, I'm tired of waiting. Cause it's gotta be like any day now. And to be honest with you guys, like, yeah, I deadass think there's aliens. I'm not really sure what kind of aliens. I'm just saying there's gotta be aliens. And I'll tell you why I'm excited about it. Or maybe not excited, excited is the wrong word. Why I'm so obsessed with that as of lately is because I think for once in our life, we have the potential to see public space travel. I'm not saying we're gonna be going to other planets in our lifetime, you know? But I'm saying that I think a trip to the moon or maybe just into general orbit will become super cheap and super available to people like you and me. Well, maybe not people like you, you know, I'm special, God loves me. But people like me, you know? I think it's gonna happen. I think we'll see that for reasonable prices in our lifetime. And I don't think many people know this about me, except for people who are close to me. I am obsessed with space to like an uncomfortable amount. When I'm not looking at photos of the truck, I'm thinking about space, you know? Like space travel, different kinds of planets, you know, like, and now that I picked up like a Discovery Plus subscription thing because it comes free with my fucking phone. They have a bunch of space related stuff on there and I've been watching tons of it. Now that I pulled these wheels off, I'm gonna go back to the low lighting. Let's get this mood lighting back. Nothing like the vehicle you drove in at the shop on jack stands. Can't wait to call Laura here in an hour and be like, can you come pick me up? I made a uh-oh. And I think the reason I think about it so much is because I realize it's literally the biggest thing that someone can do at this point in our lives. Like in the future, I can't say about it, but like think about it right now. It doesn't matter what I build or create, it's still on Earth. There's people who are orbiting the planet right now, which is round, I'm not debating that, who you can follow on Instagram. You can follow these astronauts on Instagram, and they're like, hanging out in space, just doing shit, playing with no gravity, pooping in space. I wanna poop in space. It's all I think about. Huh? Like fucking Elon Musk, please. Please, Elon, see this video and say, Dan, you know, you're doing a great job on Earth, but space needs you. Get me off this fucking planet. Let's go. Look at that. Ham hung my clock. My hooker header clock that my buddy Keith over at Holly Performance, he sent me this. I like that, that's nice. Sidetrack, I'm gonna use some isopropyl alcohol to clean these wheels before I start plasti dipping them. I got really lucky with this stuff. I bought this stuff like mid-pandemic. I have a bunch of these. I use isopropyl alcohol for cleaning other things. It was good. I got 99.5, which like at the time was harder to find than like 9 mil, you know? I'm gonna put a little water in here though. Alright, so back to what I was saying about aliens and stuff. I think the main reason I've been so obsessed with space lately is because I'm starting to realize like, that's like the biggest thing. That is the absolute biggest thing that you can be involved in right now. And to me now I'm starting to realize that like, it doesn't matter how big of a project I take on or how awesome of a build that I build, still here on Earth, you know? Think about that kind of shit a lot now. You know, like how big or how small of an imprint do I want to leave on Earth? And I feel like I've done a great job for like a little dude from Georgia, from just a regular kid from, you know, middle of nowhere, suburbs, Georgia. I think I'm doing all right as far as leaving a mark. It makes me want to do stuff that's better, that's got more value. And that's been taking a lot of my head space out of YouTube lately because it's like, to me, it feels like no matter how big of a project I take on or finish, or if I were to ever complete a project, who knows, it's like 50-50 at this point. It feels like no matter what, inevitably, it's gonna be small. And realistically, it's not important. It doesn't matter. In the grand scheme of life, it doesn't matter what color I paint my wheels. It doesn't matter what truck I drive. Nobody gives a fuck. I mean, people think it's cool, yeah, but it doesn't fucking matter. None of this shit matters. Making YouTube videos, currently, I'm not furthering the progress of humanity. I guess that's what I'm getting at. It's like, damn, I got all this potential right now. Not because of who I am as a person, but because of my resources. I do have a YouTube channel with a lot of followers and a decent reach, and generally the people who follow me are kind-hearted, right? So it seems like, man, I really could go the extra mile. I feel like I could really make a difference, even with my current level, which comparatively to other YouTubers in my field, I don't have a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and the reason I do YouTube videos is because I enjoy it, and that's great. I really enjoy making YouTube videos and content for you guys. Man, I could do this forever, I'm sure. I could squeeze every last dollar out of YouTube and just live a comfortable, happy life and not really benefit anybody else other than myself and my family, which is fine. A lot of people choose to do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. I would love to be able to do that. But now that I'm thinking about it, I can't. I can't not think about it. Like, what can I do to be, like, in the grand scheme of things, I'm sitting here cleaning a wheel, and it's really, like, talk about perspective. There's 250 billion observable galaxies with equivocal amounts of planets in each one of those. Then you start thinking like, okay, well here I am on one planet. This looks good enough to plasti dip. And you're probably sitting there thinking to yourself, Dan, how the fuck does any of that relate between you cleaning your wheel and space travel? I mean, they're not directly related, and they're not even like semi-related. The reason I bring up aliens is because there's one of two options out there, right? There either is or there is not life. And with the way things are going, it appears that though there is life. I mean, we have all these crazy videos popping up, declassification from the government, super wild information that's being let out across multiple countries, not even just America. And these declassified videos of them chasing UFOs, that kind of stuff is really intriguing, especially when the government has spent such a long time saying that there's no such thing as UFOs, we know and control everything that's in the air. Go from that to, hey, by the way, here's a declassified video of some pilots chasing a UFO. We don't know what the fuck it is. It defies the laws of physics as we know it, and we think it runs on gravity. You know, technology that we don't have and we'll probably won't see in our lifetime. Just seems a little odd to me, you know? Let's say that there is other intelligent beings besides humans who can travel or are more advanced than us, you know, have faster traveling capabilities, this, that, and the other. Let's just say, as soon as we come to terms with it, as soon as people get their heads out of their asses and it's all accepted, we're talking about massive technological advances in our lifetime immediately. Or at least they should be, you know, depending on how diplomacy works, right? So imagine, you know, hey, we're aliens. We got here because we have gravity spaceships and we can cure cancer and we can make your cars fly, and also energy runs off of dreams and hopes and farts. Who knows what kind of futuristic shit. I do think a lot of science fiction stuff is overly romanticized, you know, as far as like what their expectations of the future is, like hovering cars. Everyone wants to make technology that doesn't exist seem really cool and advanced, but when it finally comes to fruition, it's like such a letdown, even if it works like almost exactly how you want it to. Man, one day we're gonna have phones that just turn on when they look at our face. Yeah, but you know, not if I'm wearing glasses. Any human developed technology is kind of gonna be boring, I think. So you can't tell me that's not exciting to look forward to. The possibility of like instant technological advancements, assuming they're not bad. No more motorcycles and cars. We're instantly transmitted to gravity hover bikes, and Keanu Reeves is all of our best friends in our head. Or alternatively, they're bad, we die, or whatever. No, that's like the least of my concerns, is intergalactic murder. But the one side that people don't expand on a whole lot, that I think is even more exciting potentially, is that there's nothing out there. And this is where it all comes back. This is how it all ties together for me. If we are in fact the one and only little magical existence in this 250 billion observable galaxies, there's more that we can't see, that's just what we are able to see within our eyesight, our telescope sight. So let's say that we are in fact the only people in existence. That's fucking awesome, because that means there is no one policing us other than the Lord. But I'm saying, as far as there's nothing stopping us from literally conquering and adapting every planet we come across. We don't have the technology right now, but man, if we really focused on that technology for like the next 100 years, okay, everybody, no more wars, nothing like that. Our only worry right now is expanding the galaxy. That's fucking cool. Imagine all the minerals and shit we don't even know about. Our table of elements is just the shit that we already know about. Think about all the super cool metal, which is how it kind of all ties into this. I think it's really just my way of coming to terms with realizing just how small I am. You know, and everyone says, oh, I get it. You know, I get how small I am. Do you really fathom it though? Like, do some time and research. Take a glance at your own perspective and look at the universe and say how small you really are, and think to yourself, okay, maybe I don't. Maybe I'm not so big, you know? Let's plasti dip them, which is a phrase that I would never say again. Side note, getting really good straight lines, especially on round wheels, is really hard to do with like painter's tape. So one of the ways that I like to do stuff is that I just slightly overlap another piece of tape. I do short bursts of this stuff, and to get the line where I want it to, I kind of take my other hand, kind of put it at the distance and area where I want it, not pushing it down all the way, but letting the tension hold so it can kind of guide itself the right distance on its own. And by the time it gets to where your thumb is, it should be pretty damn close. It's not perfect every time, but this way does help me get where I need to go. And if it's not straight, you just kind of pull it up and relay it. Everyone wants to rush the taping job so they can get to painting. Painting's the quickest part. you know? It's like welding, you know? Everyone wants to rush to get to the welding part without prepping their metal or doing the work in between. Welding's the fastest part of welding. All right, I got everything taped up. Everything looking good, clean. Got the little bolt holes all taped up too. I'm about to spray this plastic dip on my wheels. Bro, I don't care what brand you use because they didn't pay me to tell you that it's good. Man, has it been a minute since I used this shit? Man, I remember this smell though. I'll tell you what, this smell is super familiar. While I'm waiting for the wheels to dry between coats, you know, I gotta keep my hands moving. Bought some stuff for this truck not too long ago and I haven't looked at it. This might be my front trim thing. This is a little fill panel that goes in between the grille and the bumper. The one that I had before was silver and also for a different grille. I might put this in if I'm feeling froggy enough. I also got a new front bumper trim thing. The one I have on there right now has like holes in it and shit because it's for like a front license plate, but you don't have to have a front license plate in Georgia because this is America. I'll never forget the first time that Walterific came to Georgia and we were on the highway and he goes, I don't understand, man. The speed limit's 75, but everyone's doing 90. I was like, yeah, dude, welcome to Georgia. That's what I love Georgia. People from Georgia drive like they're from Texas. Time for another coat, mate. Give it 5 more minutes. All right, these are looking really, really good. I still got 1 or 2 more coats left on the rear, on the fronts. And I got my grill one ahead and pulled it off while it was drying. You know, because I was like, fuck it, you know, I got time, I gotta wait for it to dry anyway. I'm literally sitting around watching paint dry, so I might as well fucking work on something. So I pulled off the front grill, and that's always really fun because it's aftermarket. So, you know, naturally everything matches up perfectly. Without the filler panel, kind of reminds me of Bubba, you know. But now this will kind of fit on the bottom, and it'll fill that weird gap that kind of goes in between the bumper and the grill. I was thinking about painting it silver with like spray paint because it doesn't really matter, but then my paint buddy was like, dude, let's paint your fucking truck. And I was like, okay, hold on, I got some other shit I need to do to it first. But let's paint the truck. So it's gonna stay like this color scheme right now for a little while, but it will get painted. Still not a build, by the way. Cause fuck you, that's why. Not really, I love you guys. But I also wanna remove this trim here because it's been, like I said, like you see someone cut it. Someone ruined perfectly good trim because they're pieces of shit. But they got these little plastic screws on the back of it and I don't wanna have to pull the bumper off, you know? All right, I just finished up the final coat, or what I'm considering the final coat. I'm gonna go ahead and peel the tape off so it gets nice, clean, sharp edges that I won't have to worry about the plastic dip coming up when I peel it. This is gonna look good. I don't care what anybody says, it's gonna look so good. Those look really good. They're gonna look even better when they're finished drying and on the truck. I like that. I like that a lot. Now I gotta do the rear. All right, we got the new front trim on with no plate cuts. We got that filler panel in there, and that really does clean that front end up a little bit. And then the front wheels are on, ready to go. I just got done with the final coat and peeling the tape up on the rear wheels, waiting for them to officially dry so I can throw them back on and drive home without them being fucked. Ooh, they're on. Obligatory jack drop. I'm a little unsure of how I like that. It looks good. It just looks different than what it did in my head for some reason. I think I need to see it out in day when I can like envision it, when I can have perspective, because it's really hard when I'm surrounded by a bunch of shit to see it. I like that a lot, but seeing it in the daytime is gonna really set it off. But I think we've officially just reached muscle truck status. I like these tires. And here's the finished product in the day. I really like the way it's turned out. Something about having the black inners on the wheels really sets off that like muscle truck look to me. I mean, it's not a build. You know, it's certainly not a build, it's a shop truck. These tires really fit well too. I like actually having the thicker sidewall on the rear. It does give it that like classic muscly truck look, you know? Oh, these are those taillights. I can't remember where I ordered these from. I really want to. I even checked my emails for like parts numbers and shit, and I couldn't find anything, so who knows? I replaced that. I also replaced the third brake light, and I honestly, I don't even know if it works, but it looks good. And there's the grill and the filler panel as well. I think that looks a lot better, because before it was just a big ass gap there, and then now there's no holes in the front as well. And that is gonna be the end of today's video, guys. Appreciate you guys for watching, following along, and listening to me talk and do all this crazy shit. I know I'll be talking a lot, and I'm gonna end this video real quick, and I wanna say one thing before I go. So I've started a race team, essentially. Or not necessarily started a race team. I'm sponsoring a friend of mine's son. His name is Owen Straw. He's 8 years old. He's been riding motocross for only like 8 months, and he's taking ridiculously high jumps. He's winning every race that he enters. He's out riding kids in his class. He's out riding kids older in his class. He's out riding kids on bigger bikes that are older than him. Me and my buddy got to talking about it, and I decided that I want to sponsor him and use my resources to help further his racing career, because I think this kid's got something. He's also a friend of mine, has been dumping tons of money by himself to get his kid's career up and running. I was like, dude, hold on, let's talk about this. I got tons of people watching my videos. I know there's tons of companies that would love to help sponsor your son, so that's what I'm doing. I'm using my resources essentially to create like a race team for this kid, and hopefully have like spare parts, because he crashes, man. This kid crashes in a good way, because he sends it so fucking hard. Like there's this clip from the race the other day, right out of the hole, he fucking sends it, crashes it, gets back on the bike, bends the handlebars back, and still wins first place. That's the type of energy and commitment that I am like all about. Anybody who's passionate about anything, especially at such a young age, I'm about that. I've been posting about it on Instagram, and I keep seeing people asking me how they can help and support. Right now, what I want you guys to do, if you're interested in helping support him, just give him a follow on Instagram, man. Just give him a follow on Instagram. It's in the description. His name is Owen Straw. This kid's gonna be hot shit, and I can feel that. On a side note, him and I are also gonna do content in the future. He's gonna teach me how to take jumps with motorbikes and stuff like that. And I'm really excited to get taught by an 8-year-old, someone who's only been doing it for a short amount of time, that can outride my skill level like a million times. I think that's so cool. So links in the description. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.